Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very special program. I mean, it's a long-awaited program. I've been promising that I will have the chairperson on my camera, and we're having a very special environment today for this program, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, today we shall be discussing something that we have been discussing for a good number of weeks now, and that you already know we're going to be discussing everything anyway. And with me here, I have the chairperson of the Cameroonian diaspora community here in Qatar, whom you already know, Mr. Rene Mebenga, to discuss and shed more light on what the status quo in our community today. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, and it's going to be a very interesting program. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Good afternoon, GBO Studio.
It's always amazing to have you, and today we shall be discussing something completely different from what we have been discussing, like moving the community forward. Today it concerns a situation that has faced us, or that we are faced with as a community, and that concerns the money that was given to the community by the Cameroonian government, by our government. And we have heard that money was given to a certain delegation, and one person who, of course, is a very renowned person in our community as well, Mr. Mustafa Magloire Biaka. You might want to introduce the situation to tell us from how it started.
It's very important to talk about the genesis or how all this started. I think we receive an inquiry from the embassy through their communication department, and if I remember the name, that was Mr. Ina from the embassy communication department. Okay. She sent an inquiry to us, to me and to the dean, requesting that we should present to them what we have prepared to make sure that when the Indomitable Lion are here and when other Cameroonians are coming here to support our national team, that what we have as planned for them to cater for the World Cup. And which we did. We brought the proposal to them, but the proposal was not having any monetary input in it. So, okay. And then a few days later, the ambassador came here with some diplomats together, and we had a meeting. I think that meeting, the entire community was aware of the meeting. And by the way, the people that have been chosen to represent those communities have been selected by the dean of the community. I gave him the responsibility to do that because I believe he had been here in Qatar for so long. And the objectives, based on what they requested from, was that they needed all the people within the community to be involved. And then he selected those 10 people. He was thinking they are important people for this community. Okay. And then this is how we went over there and we discussed with the ambassador and other diplomats, and he did let us know that they are expecting a plan of activity attached with value, money, Right. So we had to prepare it. We have to prepare the plan, the budget, and we prepared the budget and we sent to the ambassador. And few days later, we received the money. And I want to just highlight a point, because when people said CDCQ does not represent the community, it's very funny, because we have been having a lot of activities. Mm-hmm. Cameroonians were involved. We were trying to engage many Cameroonians, registering Cameroonian as within our community. And at the same time, when we presented the plan to the embassy, mm-hmm. it was carrying the stamp and the stamp of the CDCQ. Correct. You understand? Correct. And even the budget, when we presented the budget, was carrying the CDCQ stamp. Why is it today that when the money comes, and then you decided that, no, this money is not meant for CDCQ, CDCQ does not represent the community, but yet, when we had to present the plan, mm-hmm. it was CDCQ, because CDCQ was the body that had that capacity to bring Cameroonian together. I'm not saying the money was meant for only members, because there are people here that are not yet member of the community.
Chairman, before we go into that, I might want to ask you, what was the money what was the purpose for the money? I mean, why was the money given to the Cameroonian community in
The
Qatar?
purpose was clear, was to make sure that we mobilize Cameroonian during the game, the Cameroonian game. You know, that was it. It was straightforward.
And I want to ask you, was there any attempt like to gather the Cameroonians to meet the purpose for which this money was given?
The thing is that
before the World Cup ended, or before Cameroon was disqualified?
There was possibility at least for the last game, because we received the money. I think that was like midnight, maybe less than 24 hours of the second game of Cameroon against, I think that was against Serbia. Against Serbia, yes. So it was too late to really try to mobilize, to do anything with the money, and we received the money very late in the night. Okay. So, and I remember I was about to leave. I was inside my car because there's something trending where the dean is saying that I told him to keep the money. Yes, I say that, but you shall see in which environment and which circumstances. Yes, exactly. The environment and circumstances. Okay. Because we received the money, we were like almost 10 people. We received the money. But the time the dean of the committee was asking me, what do we do with the money? But we were only 4 people left. So many people have left already. The delegation that went to meet the ambassador and the diplomat to collect the money, 6 of them have left already, and then only 4 were remaining among me, because I was driving inside my car, then I just walked into my car, and I had some messages to check my messages, and then I just heard somebody calling me. That was the dean. Tell me, hey man, where are you going? Then I had to step down, and it's at that moment he asked me, what do we do with the money? I told him, no issue, just it's too late, and we were only 4 of us. 4 people could spot in the night. It was only 4 people remain. But for me, I've nothing. It was really, healthy to discuss about money. Only 4 people, well, 10 people were involved, you know. And I just told him, keep the money. We are going to discuss about it. And which I did the following days. In the group they constituted. They constituted a group of 10 people, even a WhatsApp group. I brought some light to it because some people did not attend. Then I tried to let them know that we received the money from the diplomats, and I gave my suggestion what we can do with the money, at least to mobilize people for the Brazil game.
Who are these people you were informing? I
informed the leaders. I start first with the 10 people that was called, because some of them, maybe 2, did not attend. And then I informed them, and I tried to give my suggestion on what we can do with the money. Among one of the more important things, listed the General Assembly, because you remember very well we failed to organize the General Assembly because of financial issue and other activities that were around it. And at the same time, we had election. So we did not have the fund, because the community or communities, our organization is a non-profit organization.
Okay, let me ask you something. Before coming to a point where you started proposing that we should use the money for a General Assembly, let me ask you, it was not too late to start mobilizing people for the Brazilian match.
Actually,
did you make an attempt
you did not
talk that with the dean, Mr. Mustafa?
Exactly. The problem is that you will have gave me the chance to continue. The GA was just one or this part of the money could have used to organize the GA, and at the same time, I had an idea that we knew very well that not all people can go and watch the game. So, and my proposal was that those who can go and watch the game, fine. Those who cannot, we need to rent a place where Cameroonians can go and watch the game and enjoy themselves, so they can cater some Cameroonian with part of the money, not all the money.
Correct.
So because we have many other challenges ahead, we could have used that money to do that, because we have lost already 2 games that the money came late, So this is a part of that was part of my proposal. So about to mobilize Cameroonian for the Brazil game that was remaining, then to organize a GA, organize the election, and to make sure that these are some of the few things I was expecting, and I wanted that money should be managed in such a way that every cent spent should be accounted, and then we can accounted for, and then give the report to the embassy.
Correct. So what was the reaction of the dean, Mr. Mustafa, towards your proposals?
Unfortunately, he was mute. He went mute for 2 days, and then realized that this is becoming not good, because 3 days you don't respond, then I had to take it to the leadership group. Then I took the matter to leadership to inform them that we have received the money, because that was he was mute, and I did not know why he was keeping quiet, why we know that we received some money that belongs to the community. So I took it to the leadership level. I informed the leadership. At the leadership level, we tried to push so hard that he can bring the money, and then he was not willing.
Right.
That was the second step. And the third step, I instructed the SG to make sure that the General Assembly is aware that we received the money.
That was after how many days of having received the money?
That was almost 5 days.
Almost 5 days.
Yeah.
Now, there is another worry that the General Assembly members have been expressing, that the money was received and they got the information very late. What was the reason behind? Why were they not informed maybe the next day, or at most 2 days after the receipt of the money?
If you ask me, I've tried my best to make it happen. But we, the community and the leadership work we in a very democratic way.
Right.
We are not like to impose people what they have to do. So that's why I tried to raise my voice for people to know that the GA should be informed as soon as possible.
Right.
Among my proposal, this was even the first proposal, that the GA should be informed as soon as possible. Anyway, those write-up on those WhatsApp group are still available there. People can still see that those write-up are still there. People can check if they want. People that wish to know the truth, this what really happened. So, but unfortunately, no one were keen to do that. And I give just some chance. It was a mistake. I just give some chance for people to decide, because I believe you cannot just come and impose something on people.
Correct.
But when it reached certain level, I could not take it anymore. I have to instruct the SG to do that.
Okay, thank you very much so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having very important revelations as far as this situation is concerned from the chairperson. And now, what I would like to want us to discuss again, still on this matter, is the fact that, I mean, from the time this money was handed until yesterday, you were not saying anything, and a lot of General Assembly members and members of the community were saying that, where is the chairperson, Rene? Where is he? Why is he not making a statement? His signature was also found on the document, on the paper that was, on the document that was signed upon the receipt of the money, but he's not saying anything. It took more than almost a month. You may want to let us know why you were silent for that period of time. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I don't think I was silent.
Okay.
I don't think I was silent, because I remember after the dean stepped down, and he said that he would like to have a committee put in place, a neutral committee to manage the money. That is why the reason he refused to give the money, because he suspected us that we are not worth keeping the money. So without knowing that, I accept that day I could have jumped on the money and nothing would have happened. In front of the ambassador, I would have jumped on the money to get the money and keep it with me. Nothing would have happened. But they have taught me. They did not. This is not the way I grew up. They taught me to respect elders. You just buy respect for the numbers he has spent in Qatar. Correct. All the good things I've been doing for Cameroonian Qatar. That's why I accepted that he should keep the money. Okay. The people need to understand it clearly. It's not because he was too powerful. I could have jumped at the money. Nothing could have happened.
Very good.
So I want this to be clear. So I did not stay quiet. I was not quiet. After he said the committee should be put in place, for me it was, as I said in one of my the last time I made a public statement that for me, suggesting the committee was something great for me. I appreciated it, because for me, I was looking like it's a sort of door he's opening so that he can get out in a very honorable way. Making that, okay, if he does that, that was a very good thing, so that nobody will even remember that he kept quiet so long while the money was still in his keeping.
Correct.
So for me, it was a very good thing to give him the honors, and that, okay, let him put the committee in place and let they can see that something is happening. But unfortunately, he failed to fulfill his promise to that committee. So the committee, the report, I was working. People think I was silent. No, I was working with that committee to make sure that we fulfill his will. We fulfill the dean will of having everything done. So I work with them. I was cooperating, even though people did not look it in a very good way. That why should the chairman being called to a committee. But I had to do that just for the sake
of peace, as you've always said, and you humbled yourself to attend to that call.
Exactly. Right. So I went and worked with them. At the end of the day, I was quiet because I wanted them to work without having any influence on their work. You understand? Okay. So that is why I was not mute, I was just observing, but working on the ground to make sure that I give them the chance to work in a very free way. They should be free. And they did what they had to do, and I really appreciate them, their effort. And at the end of the day, they brought a report showing that they did not get the money and they could not get the money. So at that time, I had to step in. That's where I made it. I did not only make it's not an empty declaration. My statement to stand as illegal case that you have been opened. I'm not going to say where I'm not going to say that much. I
should ask you what is the next step. Before we go to that, I would like to ask you, when was the last time you communicated with the dean, and what was your discussion with him?
No, the last time we communicated, that was when the committee invited us. That like maybe 2 or 3 weeks back.
Was that during the first sitting with the committee?
Yeah, during the first sitting with the committee, yes. We had to bring all of us our idea to make sure that everything, the committee can move on, and that the money story can be in the past, so that we can be trying to offer solution to what is important to our community.
Great. In one of the reports of the committee, I read, even my memory is not failing me, I read that the leaders did not agree to hand the money to the committee. Was this a representation of all the leaders? I mean, that statement. Did all of you refuse that the money should not be handed over to the committee?
It's really tricky to answer to that question. Why? Because I'm a leader. I think you too as well. So I remember that day. I've done already. We have done what was necessary. I don't think my presence was more important anymore. But I could not attend the last meeting because I had some personal issues, so I could not attend the meeting. And those who attended the meeting were the one having the money. And the one having the money, and they reached over there, and what they told them that they are representing the dean, and the dean said they should to organize the GA, the General Assembly, the 20,000 Qatar Riyal is available, which for me, I'm wondering why are we talking about Qatar Riyal, where the money they gave to us was not labeled in Qatar Riyal currency. It was labeled into euro. This is, for me, is already a big form of mismanagement. Because mismanagement, when people they don't know what it's all about. It's not about only stealing. It's about even using the money for the purpose it was not. And who gave them the authority to go and change that money from euro to Qatar Riyal? These are the thing they should answer for this. And who went and changed the money? We know in Qatar, if you want to change any currency, you need to provide your ID and they give you the receipt. So we need to have the trace of that money. If, of course, they are changing. But since I heard that they are handing over 20 Qatar, it means they succeeded to change the money. So in different currency, which our money was labeled in euro. It was 15,000 euro.
Okay, let me take you back a little bit concerning on how the money should be used, as you were trying to propose to the dean. Is there any time he was able to respond to you? For example, you gave a proposal on how the money should be used, and he counteracted, and he gave a different opinion that you also did not agree with him.
No, in fact, I brought my proposal, but he took it very bad. He considered that I was giving him order, and that I was trying to impose what was clearly stated in my clearly stated that it's just a proposal,
So did he?
And he wanted me to go and meet him privately. But for me, my ethic when it comes to mostly public funds, for the money that had been already made public, I don't think it was a good thing for me to go and talk about money privately to him, because I don't recognize that he's the treasurer. He's not the treasurer of the community.
Correct.
So I don't see why I should be talking money matters with him in private. I think the leadership was the right place where we had to discuss everything about the money that had been handed over to the Cameroonian community.
He made only one statement, and that was in the General Assembly, where he requested that a committee should be created so that he will hand over the money to the committee. Before that point, did you by any chance propose to him that he should forward the money to the treasury of the community?
Of course, among my proposal, I just say the proposal which was about holding a GA, mobilizing Cameroonian for the last game against Brazil, even organizing election, among which, but before that, the money should be in the treasury.
Very good.
Custody, yeah. This
Very
is what...
good. Now, finally, when it was known that during the last meeting that you said you did not attend, the treasury, in the final report of the committee, it has been reported that according to their budget for the General Assembly that they have proposed, and they have laid down everything, the cost of that General Assembly, they said, Mr. Paulen, who is one of the Secretary Generals of the community as well, and the right-hand man, if you can say that, right-hand man of Mr. Mustafa, he has been working with him for a very long time, was about to give the 20,000 Qatari Riyals. Now, we want to know whether that money was actually available, and why did the committee not collect this money? Or was it right for them to collect, or wrong? And I saw they presented a poll in the General Assembly that people should vote, and the majority voted that the money should not be collected. What do you think about that?
Actually, I did not attend, but I received a call.
Okay.
I received a call from the chairman of the committee, with
Mr.
Roger. I'm greeting,
and thank you very much to the entire committee, yes. And especially Mr. Otia Roger, who has been leading that committee.
Okay. Yes. So actually, I received a call from the committee, a straight call. It seemed like they were trying to lie to them, because they went and informed him that the leadership, and of course, the chairman is aware that 20,000 Qatari have been allocated to organize the GA. And when I received that call, and he asked me, are you aware that there is 20,000 Qatari allocated? Did you agree on that? I told him, I don't know what you are talking about. Was you not informed? Actually, I don't know any of this. So this is the decision, and I tried to find out, even in the leadership group, none of such have been discussed. So there are few people, the money keepers, who decided solely to do whatsoever they want. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very difficult one. Okay, I think except you might want to say any other thing. Is there anything that I've not asked you that you think the community needs to know? Actually, before we run up with the program.
I think it's we are not going to, as I said in my statement last time, we are not going to sit. I'm not going to sit and watching people playing with the community property. I think this is, I don't have also something against people, but I have stuff against the system people want to put in place. We are not a community by where people, people are the system. We want a community by where the system is built for people to fit in, and not people are not building the system for people, because the community actually is kept on hold because of 15,000 euro story, which it's very regrettable. What I want to let Cameroonian is that we have engaged some legal actions against any person that passed closer of that money. So they should make sure that they're going to respond. And it is not empty words.
It's not propaganda.
Yeah, it's not propaganda. They should know that it's for real. And we are expecting them in return to support us in this situation. No, it's easy to commit a crime, but justice takes time but things are getting done at certain point. So we request from them to be calm, to trust the process, and to make sure that they are to reason, because there are some other people there that are still like supporting, and I think they are just supporting. They don't try to reason to find the truth. For this type of people, just tell them to I said something the other day, is that disorder is common, but failure is individual. So at the end of the day, only 1 or 2 persons will be responding. None of them will be there. So if they keep baking him, if they keep hyping him in making mistake, this is very dangerous. So they should be very careful, because we are not going to let it go. And the community should make sure that they support us on this, and that this is now ever that we need their support, because we are not going to let this type of attitude or behavior to continue. Our community should be a community by where institutions have value more than people.
Exactly. Wow, thank you very, very much, Chairman. And in that letter, that is very, very important that you already sent that communique yesterday where you were revealing your actions and the actions of you and your executive. It was revealed yesterday in the letter that was shared in the General Assembly WhatsApp platform. And today we are having this program because had it been, you were saying that here now without having officially addressed them yesterday, it would have been an ugly situation seen by some people. Anyway, and the last question. Some people say your leaders are not speaking, and most of the leaders are not speaking on this situation. What do you have to say about that? Briefly, and we run up.
You have to understand something. Leader, they don't speak anyhow.
Right.
When you hear leaders saying something, that means he took his time to make sure that what he's sending out there make more sense. Otherwise, you just be an empty vessel making a lot of noise. So I believe this leadership that has been elected, it's one of the I think is a very good leadership, because the people we have around are people that are really conscious of of the power of the words. So you don't just go out there, you start making a statement.
Right. So
you need to make sure that any step we take, it's well thought, So saying leader are not saying anything, they are working behind the scene to make sure that the real things are happening. The General Assembly is made mostly to sample people, what people think, what the majority think, and what is best for them. That is why we observe people that don't know that leaders, they work too much, they observe, they read everything, they understand how people think. We are even spotting some people with leadership capacity within the GS. So we give chance. During the election, we were saying that we want a community by where energies are released. So we want people to release their full potential. Okay. So we can see in them leadership, because we want this community to be a timeless community. Right. But with this type of attitude of embezzlement or everything, our community is going to fall down. And this is what people wish, and I think this is not going to happen, and we are not going to allow it to happen. So we leadership, we are not mute, but we are working hard to make sure that things happen, and among those things to happen, to make sure that we stop embezzlers.
Right. Thank you very much, Chairperson, for having provided time to speak on this very crucial situation that is plaguing our community recently. And ladies and gentlemen, my wonderful people, it was a very great opportunity for us to have the Chairperson, Mr. Rene Mebenga, again today to discuss on this very, very important topic. Once again, we are thanking the committee that was created and headed by Mr. Roger Otia for the work they have done, having sacrificed a lot to just make sure that things were resolved. Unfortunately, they did not get any satisfactory result. Thank you very much, and God bless each one of you. Keep speaking the truth. For people who are shying away from the truth, please wake up and let the Spirit touch you. Whenever you need to speak the truth, speak it out. Thank you very much. Until some other time. My name is Juan Edmond Elime. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Juan. Have a wonderful day as well.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.